Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining this special presentation of Encore Palm Beach County, Volunteerism, A Road to Purpose and Vision. Your hosts today are myself, Christine Catoggio, and Joni Cherbo, and you'll be hearing more from Joni in just a little bit. So before we get started, I would like to ask you to please have a pen and pencil and pen handy because we would like you to take notes. We have a lot of great information to offer you today. And as always, it's a lot more information that we can get in an hour's time. So we will share an opportunity with you later to be able to delve more into some of the topics that we talk about today. I would also like to ask you to put your volume on mute. We will have an opportunity when Joni is speaking. She will be asking you to participate, so we'll be slightly interactive at that point. And other than that, I think we're about ready to go. So this is an exciting topic, and it's one that I am particularly passionate about. I have been volunteering for most of my life, and I could probably go as far back as when my girls were in nursery school, starting a PTA to raise funds to keep their funding going. But most recently, obviously, I'm on the board of Encore Palm Beach County, which I've been doing for a number of years since its inception. And I really got my thirst for volunteerism when I was invited to participate in Rotary back in 2001. And that was at a low point in my life. And I have to admit that participating in an organization like Rotary and being involved in the community and volunteering really did a lot for my self-esteem and my confidence at a time where I had a lot of personal things going on. And I remained a Rotarian for well over 12 years. And of course, you know, as any of you who volunteer know, that you don't miss a meeting because then you are elected for the next project. So, so I became secretary almost immediately. I became president for a few years. I became district chair of Rotary, my area, and on and on and on. I could go on and on about the participation, and it was the best experience of my life. And I really have to say, it really gave me my passion for volunteerism. And even when I did not have the time and availability to participate, I still ended up joining Soroptimist, which is a women's service organization. And I'm currently president of my Soroptimist organization in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. So I'm very involved, have always been involved in community and volunteerism. And it really is a part of my life that I feel has truly given me purpose. Even at times where, you know, like during COVID, Encore, we did not stop. We kept going with Zoom calls and projects, and it really helped a lot of us stay out of that funky time that COVID presented and that time of maybe loneliness and, you know, everything that COVID gave to us. And we went nonstop. And if anything, I would say that was probably, last year was probably one of the best years for Encore because it truly gave us a purpose during that time when everything else had slowed down. So my passion for, if you can hear it in my voice, I mean, I truly am passionate about volunteerism, and I truly believe that volunteering does really fulfill a sense of purpose. So there is an importance of finding purpose in our life, and there's so many reasons. And I, as a coach, like to, when people are trying to find that elusive purpose, you know, how do I find it? What is it? How do I know what it is? I always like to tell them, purpose is not a thing. Purpose is how you live your life. So purpose really is why you do what you do. What is that big why that gets you up in the morning, your reason to get out of bed? And it keeps your convictions top of mind. And we'll talk some of that a little bit later, but it's all about your values and your priorities. And those are the convictions that really define your purpose. It's how you live your life on a day to day. And vision is what you aim for. When you're clear on your purpose and you're energized and passionate about what you do and what you need to achieve to accomplish that, that's your vision. Your vision defines the path to get there. So passion is particularly important later on in life because for most people, especially during retirement, when we no longer have a job that we need to get up for, and maybe we don't have the structure that we had previously, and don't have a routine, or a routine has changed, and we have less social interaction, finding that purpose and finding a way to volunteer and be part of something that is bigger than yourself really helps get through that part of our life. It gives us that reason to get up in the morning. It gives us something to do that helps other people. Helping other people takes us out of our own worries and problems, and it gives us a sense of satisfaction that we're doing good for others. There was a joint study on retirement by Edward Jones and actually Ken Dickwald, who wrote the book Age Wave. And if you haven't read Age Wave, it speaks to volumes to what we're talking about today. And in this study on retirement, they found that 31% of retired people who retired less than 5 years were struggling to find their purpose. Volunteering was one of the top 5 ways that they recommend to find your purpose. So some of the surprising benefits, and we all know them, all of us who volunteer already know what they are, but some of the surprising benefits, and I'm going to look at my list so I don't forget anything important. The right match can help you connect with your community, find friends, learn new skills, and even advance your career. Because volunteering can expose you to professional organizations that maybe you wouldn't have had access to before that could benefit your career, and also expose you to opportunities that allow you to explore your interests and your passions. And when it comes to volunteering, passion and positivity are the only requirements. So of course, there are mental and physical health benefits. Okay, volunteering keeps you mentally stimulated. It combats the loneliness and depression. And studies have shown it can make you happy. How's that for a benefit? So if you are looking to create something in your life that is bigger than you, something that is going to give you a reason. We hear our founder, Rosemary, she says if Encore gives her a reason to get up every day. So, you know, it is one of the most positive things we can do for ourselves later on in life to really expand our mental health, to expand our community involvement, our social interactions, and all the relationships in our life. You know, if it wasn't for Zoom, we would not have been able to do a lot of that last year through COVID. And yet we were able to expand all of that and do all of those things by having these regular opportunities to do these programs and to address social issues. So if you have any desire at all to be involved in community and social interaction and do something positive for yourself as well as your community, then volunteerism is the road to go. So Joni is going to take it from here, and Joni, it's all you.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for being with us. Is that the dog? Right? I'm delighted that you signed on. This is a very special topic for me. I suspect Christine articulated it so well. The only thing I can really add to what brought me into volunteerism was that as a young adult, I went through what I call a kind of existential crisis, not being a religious person or brought up in a religious. I was, what will make this life of mine, this journey, really meaningful? And it brought me right into the not-for-profit sector. And I have always been involved in one thing or the other, but in particular with animal therapy. I loved animals, and I became a therapeutic a riding instructor because I rode all my life, and I translated that into helping people and helping animals. Retired horses became helpmates to disturbed children and people with physical needs. And in my work as an academician in the arts, I established a non-for-profit that dealt with helping international cultural exchanges with a very firm belief that this kind of cultural diplomacy helps us understand other people rather than being afraid of differences. One of the things I'd like to mention, though, is that America is one of the most developed civil societies in the world. We have an extensive not-for-profit sector, extensive, that many other countries all actually try to emulate. And that for many, many not-for-profits, their workforce depends upon volunteers, successful volunteerism. We just had a discussion, a panel discussion here at Encore, where the woman who was in charge of Encore, of Palm Beach County Red Cross said that 90% of their workforce are volunteers. It's staggering when you think of it, really. Now, this contradicts the notion that I think statistics tell us right now that volunteerism nationally is only in the high 29% about, sort of on average. And in Florida, I believe it is somewhere around 24%. The irony of this is that Florida has this extraordinarily exponential increasing aging population. And seniors are the people who are the most likely to have the time and the resources to volunteer. So we're not quite sure of what keeps people from volunteering. We can conjecture a lot, we know a lot, but we don't know the details, and we don't know what's going to help them make the transition to volunteering, assuming that they are really interested. At this point, I'd like to sort of stop and ask you, our attendees, briefly to put this in the chat, because I can't ask each one of you this question, but how many of you have actually really taken on a volunteer position or gotten experience with it? I mean, short of writing a check or short of baking cookies for, for your children's primaries or high school, whatever. Can somebody offer me a little bit of a, raise your hand? Christine, can you see the whole gambit of people who are signed in?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Joyce.
Joyce.
Okay.
Yeah.
Joyce, would you like to share? You can unmute yourself.
There she is.
Yep. Can you unmute, Joyce?
One. I was just pressing the one by my picture, but that.
There you go. Okay, you're good.
Yes, I volunteer for the local hospital. We are developing Ontario health teams, which are bringing together all aspects of healthcare, acute care, primary care, mental health, and home care facilities. And we're trying to bring everybody together so we all talk to each other. And I'm playing a very active role in that, and find it very stimulating and interesting and challenging, very challenging. And so that keeps me very busy. It's amazing how many hours I'm putting in, but I certainly think it's the one thing. I mean, it does get me up in the morning, and sometimes our meetings are at 8 o'clock. So I'm up and ready, and so you're ready for the day. And it's I agree with everything you say, and I'm a former Rotarian as well. And I believe that the organizations such as that are really helpful to you as an individual and to society. So I think you get double bonuses for this in this area. Thanks for asking.
Thank you.
It's like the flip side of the coin. What gives you a benefit personally also helps society.
Mhm.
Yeah. Is there anyone on the, any attendee here who has not done any volunteer work? Nobody.
Nobody. That's great.
Okay, that's interesting. So everybody has already had an introduction to this in some way, form, or the other. Has anybody had an experience that wasn't satisfactory in trying to volunteer? Ah, Joyce, again. Yes, tell us.
Well, actually, it was an overseas assignment that I was working with the international organization in the United States, the Executive Service Corps, and assigned to a challenge in Zimbabwe, no, in Zambia. And it's very interesting. I had done many assignments with them, and I came giving sort of one, I was given one information that I was there to help them with quality improvement in hospitals, and that's my area of expertise. And then I got there, and the person who was in charge of the clinic did not want me there, did not invite me. It was the board, and the mission that they were hoping I would do would be to give them a purpose to get rid of the owner of this facility. And it really did not turn out. I mean, it was really difficult. It was a very difficult situation. And there was nothing that I could do because he owned it and he was the only doctor there that could run it. And so it was, and the staff were very afraid of him. They would not talk, just sort of out of the corner of their mouth, around the corner and in the closet sort of thing. They would pass on words, and you really didn't take too long to figure out what the problem was. So that wasn't a very satisfying point of view from my perspective. But I was able to do some teaching on the positive side. I was able to do some teaching to the staff. And after I'd been there a few days, they were more receptive. And so I was able to jump that hurdle, but it was difficult. And that's the kind of thing that's really unfortunate when they use people like this.
So Joyce, it sounds like, can you hear me?
Yes.
It sounds like you were recruited under by two parts of this organization that did not talk to one another and get their goals in line to use you appropriately. Would you say that's a fair assessment?
I think no. I think that it was probably the organization that wanted me to come did not clearly outline the assignment.
Mm-hmm.
There
Okay.
was miscommunication between them, and it was very obvious when I went with the director of the community.
Mhm.
When we landed there, the greeting was less than friendly. And so it was obvious right from the start that there was a problem. And, you know, we did the best we could. And I don't think it was anybody's really situation. I think the organization who wanted me there was not really forthright.
Mm. This
Did
is
not really say what they wanted.
this is one of the topics we wanted to address too, is that the clarity of the fit between the volunteer and the organization, and how that can become a better introduction for volunteers and for the organization, so that people don't get wayside with these kinds of issues. And that's something that we actually had some discussion about. We have a lot on our website about volunteer positions, Encore Palm Beach County. And we also, because January, February, March are volunteer focus for us, Rosemary Nixon, who I think has been mentioned already, she was our originator, our founder, and our current president, moderated two very interesting lectures, one with James Green, who is the director of Palm Beach County Community Services, and then with 6 not-for-profit leaders from very established not-for-profits, Cross Ministries, Not-for-Profits First, Literary Coalition, United Way, Spirit of Giving, and the Red Cross. And they're both recordings on our website. They're very informative. The focus was, of course, how do we increase volunteerism in our county? What are some of the issues, some of the problems? And how do we make it, as I just said, a better fit for both parties who are interested in having volunteers and becoming volunteers? So do go to our website if you're interested in a little more depth than we can cover in this 1 hour. But awareness of this issue, increasing volunteerism and making it beneficial for the parties involved, brought us to develop a training program from Encore Palm Beach County that Christine and I are going to launch this March. And I'm going to turn this discussion over to Christine, who's going to give you a little more details about what we're trying to do.
Okay, thank you. And before I do that, I see Athena Jackson on board. You're unmuted. Did you want to have something to say, Athena?
Hi, everybody. I'm Athena Jackson. I'm one of the newest volunteers with Encore Palm Beach County, and I just find everything so interesting. I live in South Broward County, and so most things are being done remotely, and I'm working very closely with Rosemary. And I find all of the programs that are being put on by Encore virtually, and I can't imagine how nice it's going to be when we're able to do in-person programming. But I thank all of you for the wealth of information that I'm getting and the opportunity to know about so many volunteer opportunities in Palm Beach County. So I'm in a learning stage and I'm enjoying it. And thank you so much for allowing me to have a say. Thank you.
Thank you, Athena. And would you share what organization you're with, Athena?
Well, I used to be with Florida Memorial College in career development for many, many years. And prior to that, I was with the Girl Scout Council as a regional trainer and recruiter for adults. And between those two things, I got a wealth of information in terms of training and HR and recruiting and a lot of across the, all ages and everything. It's just been quite interesting. So at this time in my life, I thought I'd take some of that energy from working with the young folks in college and maybe channel it to people who are more mature and see how that goes. So that's where I am now.
Great, great. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. And as
Sure.
Joni was saying, the depth of opportunities really runs the gamut. And we learned that when we met with these other nonprofits on the panel. I mean, you know, it's very hard to understand all the nonprofits that are out there and the depth of the volunteer work that they really need to survive. Most of these organizations really depend on the work of volunteers. One in particular that just jumped out at me was Cross Ministries. You know, I never imagined, you know, I didn't even know what gleaming was until I heard Cross Ministries talk about how they have people come out to pick the vegetables that are not saleable, but they use them for the food kitchen. So, you know, the opportunities really run across the board, from things like gleaming to mentoring children, literacy programs online. It's just amazing. So any talents or skills that you may have really could be utilized in some way. And that's really one of the benefits of volunteering, especially as we get older, is we can actually build on those skills that we have and not just, you know, let our talents and abilities kind of fall by the wayside, but actually keep developing them. A lot of the nonprofits actually have training programs, so you can get trained in other skills. So you're really expanding your horizons in so many ways. And as we talked about, you know, the mental health issue and aspect of it is huge. It's huge. So there's really much to be said for what is available to us, and the need is definitely there. The need is definitely there. And as you know, Joni directed you to our website, and there are so many others that we just can't even keep up with them all. So Nonprofits First and Spirit for Giving and all of those are kind of collaborations of a number of different nonprofits together. But I'm hearing some feedback from someone, so I'm going to ask you to mute again. But I'm going to go ahead and ask a question as well. So if you had the opportunity to volunteer in something, what would you look for as far as trying to find your opportunity? Is there an area of interest, or what would be the road that you would want to take to find the right opportunity for you? So I'm going to open that up. Anyone want to answer that? Anyone?
Hi. Hi, my name is Shirley.
Hi.
And I'm sitting here. Hi, I'm listening. I've done a little volunteering, dabbling here and there. I'm currently doing a little bit, but I come from a fashion background, and it's very hard to relate that to volunteering. So I know I want to help people. We're limited now because of COVID, so I can only do it virtually. I can't go out and do any picking and stuff like that. So I don't know what I'm waiting to be moved, and I haven't been moved yet. So I'm just getting all the information, and hopefully something will come up and I'll try it.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, and that's another important part of developing your purpose, or trying to figure out your purpose, is trying different things. Because, you know, we never know if we like something or not if we don't try it. So, you know, it's a great opportunity if you have an interest in something to try it. You know, if the worst that could happen is you don't like it, if it's not a good fit. And the program that Joni and I have put together actually helps you develop that and find that for yourself. And I'll share a little bit more about that in just a minute. But one of the other things that I have found, and through some of the people I've met through my journey, is that when you have something, a talent that does not seem like it fits anywhere, develop something for yourself and offer it to someone you think may need it, or an organization that you think it could benefit. You know, as part of Seroptimist, we do a lot of work with PACE Center for Girls in Broward County. And PACE Center for Girls, they really are in need of a lot of types of programs that could be around fashion and dress, you know, how to dress appropriately for interviews and, you know, anything along those lines, wherever your area of expertise is. And so if you could create a program or something that you think could benefit them, don't be afraid to approach them. And there again, that's something that we guide you through in our upcoming program, is how is the best way to approach nonprofits with your own talents. So, you know, that's another way that you can look at it. If you have something that, you know, you feel that you are, you know, I want to say an expert in, but you don't need to be an expert. You know, if it's something that you're passionate about, you're the expert. So you just bring it to the table. And if they don't want it, well, you know, there's someone who will. So definitely think along those lines. Joyce, I saw you had your hand up. Unmute yourself, Joyce. Unmute. There she is. Okay.
Shirley, I was just wanting to tell you of an experience, personal experience I had. I am a breast cancer survivor, and I lost all my hair. And we have a program for cancer patients, and it was to help and put on makeup and to tell them how there's a real need in how to care for your wig because it's very different, and how to even know about real hair wigs and synthetic wigs and how to care for that, but also your skin and different types of shampoo that you use when your hair is coming back. There was, so we have a program in Canada. Can't quite remember it, but I could send it to Rosemary if you want. She could send it on to you.
Okay, that would be great. Thank you.
And really and truly, just, and the way you could start that very easily is just connect with your local cancer clinic or your cancer hospital, and ask them if you can do a beauty day for their cancer patients, for especially the breast cancer patients. And I'm sure they'd be very, very helpful. And another thing with that, also, we have a program called After Breast Cancer. And it's another program that helps patients who've had breast cancer. And then we go out into the community and help. And I think if you get a couple of your friends, or you can do these in-home sessions, you know, when you have cancer and you're losing your hair and your color in your face is all different and your skin is different, it's a wonderful thing to have somebody to help you with that, because you're feeling very, very unattractive, and anything that they can do. And what we did, what this organization did, and I'll pass it on, the After Breast Cancer, they developed a calendar and had an after breast cancer calendar. and they raised funds, and I was a calendar girl at 81. So they had this calendar, and I'll just show you the picture. We had a glamour day, and oh my gosh, if you could do something like this.
I love it.
Our calendar. So I went and had a beauty day. My calendar, my hair was all done, all my makeup.
Beautiful.
They dressed us with this wonderful, wonderful, expensive $2,000 dress the day, and we had our pictures taken. Then they did the calendar, and then you know, they used it for fundraising for their organization. But any part of that, you know, you could have a spa day for after breast cancer patients, or people going who've lost their hair and need help with their wigs, because you're feeling, once you've lost your breast, you're not feeling like a female anymore. You feel you lost, I lost one of them, so you feel you lost, you know, half your body. And so it's a real psychological thing. So if you can, and I'm sure with all your fashion in that, you know all about how people feel about this. But I'll leave my name with Rosemary, and if
Okay.
you get in touch.
Thank you. The only thing is I'm not going to anybody's house, or I'm not touching anybody at this time. So I don't know how easy that would be for me to project at this, you know.
Okay,
at this time.
we'll share some of that with you,
Okay.
how you can go about doing that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you, Joyce. You know, and we always refer to our founder, Rosemary Nixon, because Encore Palm Beach County started because Rosemary saw a need. She had read the book Encore, and she said, well, my gosh, how come we don't have that in Palm Beach County? And so she gathered a group of people together and developed a mission and a vision. And now I believe we're in our 5th year, going very strong, because she saw a need. And so she just, you know, started working on it and bringing people together with a common interest. And that's one of the fun things about, you know, volunteering as well. You're with people and meeting people who have a common interest with you. So, you know, find people that share your interest and see what you can create. You know, be creative. I always tell people, you know, with COVID last year, all the rule books went out the window. There's no rule books anymore. So whatever you can create and bring to the table, I say go for it. Go for it, because there's no rules. I say kick the box to the curb. There is no box anymore except the one we put ourselves in. So with that being said, I want to share with you the program that Joni and I have developed. And I think this answers a lot of your queries as far as how to go about finding the right fit for you, you know, creating the best venue for your talents and abilities, and developing your own way of participating in the opportunities and finding the opportunities that are available to you. And so I'm going to try and share this screen if I can, but I'm not very adept at this, so just bear with me 1 minute and see if I can pull up. I don't know that I can. Let's see, give me 1 second. It's not there. Okay. When you get the recording from this call, we will send you the link. Our program is very in-depth. And Joni, do you want to share a little bit about exactly what we're going to cover in the program?
I thought that's what you were going to do, darling. Oh, you don't have the screen in front of you, right?
Yeah, I was trying to get to this screen. So let me see if I can pull it up. Just give me 1 second. Okay. Okay.
What she's trying to pull up is what is going to go out to each of you about this training program. I don't think I have a copy. Let me see if I have one.
Okay, well, I'm going to read it, and I was hoping to get it up so that you could see it. But, okay, so it's also called Volunteerism, A Road to Purpose and Vision. Have you been searching for deeper fulfillment, but don't have a clear direction on how to find it? Do you desire to utilize your skills, experiences, and talents to create a bigger impact in society, but don't know the best way to go about it? Or maybe you're yearning to be part of something that gives you a deeper sense of purpose in your life. Well, as you can tell from this call, you're not alone. Because of the recent events of last year, many of us have had to rethink our direction and reboot and think about how we can contribute to society in a much bigger, more meaningful way. So there's never been a better time to volunteer. And that's why Encore is offering this program. Joni and I are facilitators, and it's an online training program designed for men and women who are open to achieving a deeper sense of satisfaction and fulfillment in their life while making a social impact through volunteering. And in A Road to Purpose and Vision, you will learn how to clarify your goals, priorities, and values so that you can identify the opportunities that are best suited to satisfy your personal needs. You'll learn the different types of nonprofits and how to identify and utilize your talents and abilities in the appropriate venues. And you'll learn how to identify the needs of the organizations, their limitations, and the best ways that you can benefit their needs as well as your own. And we'll also teach you resources to access the vast array of opportunities that are available and help you identify those that are best suited for you. This is a 5-week online program meeting weekly, starting on March 3rd, 10th, 17th, 24th, and 31st. We will give you weekly tools and exercises to complete at your own pace to help you identify some of what we spoke about. And we will work along with you on weekly 60-minute online training calls, Wednesdays at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And we'll support you and assess your progress. And the calls will all be recorded if you cannot make a session. And we will also have breakout sessions to mastermind and speak with the other participants into what is working for them as well. And you'll have hands-on coaching and training by Joni and myself. We are both transformational coaches, both very well-versed, as we told you, in volunteerism. The classes are 1.5 hours every Wednesday, and the investment is a one-time donation to Encore Palm Beach County of $125. And if you're an Encore Palm Beach County member, that's discounted to you for $97. And it's a very comprehensive program where we will work with you to help you find the right opportunities for you. So with that, I'm going to open it up to questions as I try to get back to my screen. So, Joni, can you see the screen? I'm trying to get back there. Are there any questions? Anyone have any questions, comments for us about the program, about volunteerism?
Joyce.
Wonderful program. I just think it's amazing, and I want to congratulate you both on putting that together. It's wonderful.
Thank you, Joyce.
Thank you, Joyce.
Yeah.
There you are. Okay, I found my way back. Okay, anyone else have any questions about volunteerism? Anything else you'd like to know about the program or how it can work for you, what your interest may be and how we can help you?
You can always put it in a chat. If you don't ask us now, you can put your questions in the chat box and we will answer you after the fact. We have your emails and you'll get ours because you will get this landing page that Christine read rather than being able to show. And you can address us about this program after the fact, if not right now.
Shirley, did you want to say something else? It looked like you were.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, you said there was a recording from Ms. Jane Green. I wanted to ask you about
Yes.
who he was and
Yeah, did you find it? I know you had emailed me about that. It's on the website. I'll send you the link when I send this out as well, okay? And actually, I will probably try and include that on everyone because it's really very informative as to what actually is going on locally and what's being done and what's available as far as the world of volunteerism. So we'll get you that.
yeah, I feel that since my area is so limited, I think that you gave me 2 ideas today. I probably won't do this seminar because it's a lot for me to sit for an hour and a half. I'd rather be doing something than sitting there and finding all about other opportunities. I would go for maybe a girl working with girls at a center or after treatment for cancer, having more into the girls' school.
Right. Okay. And keep in mind, and I understand totally what you're saying, but keep in mind that you are not just sitting for that hour and a half. We actually will give you, it's a workshop. You will actually be doing the work. We're just guiding you through the process of finding out the best venues for you and the best way to utilize your skills and talents and really how to develop what's available for you. And it goes through just what I talked about when I talked about purpose, okay? It's understanding, and a big part of most anything that we do in life is really understanding what your own values and priorities are, because that's a key element in helping you decide pretty much anything that you do in life is understanding what those values and priorities are, because all your decisions and all the roads that you take and all the actions that you do, whether it be in volunteering or choosing a job or even in a relationship, okay, it's all based on having that core understanding of what you truly desire for yourself and for your life. So that's a key element that we're going to be bringing into this as well. You know, one of the questions that we hear all the time is people like, I don't know what I want. And most people really don't know what that is for themselves or how to find it. And that's something we help you do. Joni?
And I think the other component of this is that even for people who say, I like working in fashion, or I worked in fashion, or I worked with breast cancer recoveries, that there's a big difference between, even if you are able to really identify those 4 things that you're going to give you a special sense of meaning, the ability to find the right organization, how to approach them, and how to assess what comes back from them as to whether you may have a fit, you may have to go back to them again, you may decide that organization isn't right for you, you have to go somewhere else. We do this with you. We do a hands-on approach to actually going to various organizations so that you learn. You have a jump start as to how do you really make your interests, your passions, your priorities happen out there. That's a large part of what this program is about.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Anyone else? Anyone? Comments, questions? Okay. Well, it seems that we've covered everything. Joni, did we cover everything we needed to?
I think so. And like I said, again, those of you who want to ask us further questions or more in depth, please put it in the chat. We'll get back to you or email us. We are available. That's what coaches are for.
So usually I try and get the recording out within 24 hours and look for that. It will be the Zoom recording of this call, and we'll have Joni's email as well as my email. And I'll try and remember that for you, Shirley, James Green's as well. And but you can also find it on the website along with the other recording of the 6 organizations that did the panel. And there again, reach out to either one of us. We're available to you. We both offer a free consultation to get you started. So if you're not sure about which direction to go, or if this is something that's right for you, I'm happy to speak to you and explain how it works and whether or not it is a good fit for you. Because even with volunteerism, we want you to find the right fit. You know, as you heard Joyce talk about, the wrong fit can really give you a negative feeling about volunteerism. And, you know, if it doesn't feel right and you're not having fun, you shouldn't be doing it. So we want you to find the right fit that you're going to enjoy doing, that's going to give you a sense of purpose, passion, and really move you forward in the vision that you really want for your life, what it is you truly want for yourself. So if there's no further questions, thank you everyone for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hearing more from you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Okay, bye now.
Bye-bye now.